First, this is how this canoe is rolled out. So it's on wheels with brackets. There are aluminum brackets right there, and they are attached. There are bolts from the bottom and wing nuts, so the wing nuts can be taken out when you sit inside a canoe. And when this bracket is attached, you just grab it by this handle and you just roll it, just like I do now. You want to gravel. Oops, a little bit too far. So even with the battery and with the motor attached. Now, this is a Haswing 2 horsepower 24 volt electric motor. There's a battery meter here from like 100% down to like 20. This used to be a handle with a control, with a throttle control. So what I did, I unscrewed it here and I made this bracket, like this aluminum bracket, which is removable, and I'll show you how easy to remove it. Like, I lost my wing nut from here, so I just use regular nuts. So I just pull like this. It's kind of hard to do it with one hand, so I'll just do it with 2 hands. That's it. So this is how you grab it out and you remove it. To put it back, it's the same. You just go under like this, push it up and attach it. It takes like 2 minutes to convert this setup from transport to like a use position. And this is basically a steering. So this handle used to be a part of the motor right there. I took it out. So this is a throttle which controls the speed of the motor, and this is how it's turned. So you push it forward and back, sitting in a chair, you push it like this forward and back, and the motor turns right and left. Here it's to operate this motor, it's pretty easy. So obviously you have the steering here. You push it like one way or another, like forward and back. It's not like right and left, it's just forward and back, and the motor spins right and left. You have also depth adjustment, so there is a knob here right there. I'll hold the motor by my foot, so it's not gonna hit the ground. So if you pull it, there is a lock here which locks and unlocks the motor positions. This motor has a few positions, from like going up to going deeper in the water. It's pretty easy to get it. To do this, I usually just sit in a seat and I just turn around and pull the knob. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy to take the motor out. So you unscrew the bolts, the C-clamps, and just pull it right off. It's simple, just like any other outboard. Now, to start it up, I hook up the battery. I have this quick disconnect, like a winch connectors, like a high amperage connectors, and yeah, it's basically you just sit in a seat and twist the throttle. You go forward, and the motor starts spinning. Go right and left. When you're faster, you go faster. And that's how you go full throttle. When the canoe is in the water, you can hardly hear it. You hear a little bit of noise because this is a brushless AC motor, like most of the Minn Kota, like all the Minn Kota motors, they are DC motors. They're brushless. This is a brushless motor, so there's nothing to wear. There's no brushes to wear. But these motors, they have inverters inside this control, inside the head. They have inverters which can create frequency, like AC frequency, like 24 volt, whatever frequency you need for the speed. And basically that's how it works. It's pretty simple, easy to find how modern brushless motors work. So it's pretty simple. I'll go to reverse. It has a forward and reverse. So as it says here, forward, oops, not easy. Forward and reverse. To go forward, you just twist it this way, have it forward. And it can go really slow. Like if you need to turn it, like go a little bit, you just twist it like a couple clicks and it goes really slow to like full throttle. And it will just speed up. And again, because of the control board, it speeds up slowly. It just slowly adds some frequency, so there's no huge current like with regular DC motors. You have to make sure these cables are huge, because you suddenly, if you twist the throttle quick, you suddenly have so much current. In this case, you don't have this fast acceleration. You just basically just start going slowly, pick up the speed. But again, in like 3 seconds, you have like a full throttle. Now, if you need to go to reverse, obviously you go to like neutral position and go to reverse. And it's just like this. It's pretty simple. Reverse is a little bit slower, but it's probably just for the safety, because it's probably maybe 1/3 of the going forward, the speed. To take this bracket off, it's pretty simple. I have bolts. They are from inside, and there are nuts on top of this. So when you undo this wind nut, this bolt doesn't fall off. It stays in the bracket. So what I usually do when I launch the canoe, I sit in a seat and I just unscrew these 4 wind nuts, and I grab this bracket from one side like this, and it just goes like whoop from the bottom. Like I just pull it like this down and up, and I just grab it, and I put it right inside the canoe. So, and I go. So if I decide to, let's say I see a nice beach, like obviously a sandy beach, I wouldn't try to beach on the rocks, as this is not like a steel canoe. I just go to the sand, and I can basically just put this bracket back and just wheel it out from the water, and that's how I launch it. It's pretty simple, easy and simple, and just done by one person. So that's how it is. I have these straps. They have no functionality other than I lift this canoe. I have like a high garage. It's like 14 feet high. So I have a winch there, and when I don't use this canoe, I just hook it up and just lift it, and it sits right by the cylinder, so it's not in the way. Again, like 5 seats, like 1 or 4 seats, 2, 3. I used to have another seat here. There are holes here for another seat, but we don't need it. Like we don't use it. And 4. Again, like another seat or even like 2 seats can be added here if needed. We usually just go me, my wife, and 2 kids, so we don't need it. That's how it works. It's pretty cool. I mean, people just turn their heads all the time, because you can see this flying canoe, like on the full throttle it goes. It's like almost like you have a gas engine. I see people pedaling their canoes, and they just twist the handle, and I just fly. You can go fishing. It's really this canoe is quite big. It's like a boat, and it can be used for fishing, for really nice fishing. And a couple times we went to the lake, St. Clair Lake, and especially if you go on the lake, and from lake you want to go to the river, like Pike Creek or like Bell River, like one of these small rivers. Sometimes in the mouth of the river it's quite wavy. It's quite kind of choppy. So a couple times we went, so like waves were like almost like as high as our canoe, no problem. So we just, because it's quite long, it's 17 feet long, it just bounces up and down, and you just go, and because you have so much power compared to pedaling. Plus you can basically turn on the spot. You can just go right and left really quick, or you can just go reverse really quick, and like one turn you go forward, you stop and you go back. It's so maneuverable, so you don't have a problem as compared to just manual pedaling. Here's another thing, is like that's the label for the canoe. For person, 685 pounds capacity. So that's what it is. I use this lithium battery pack for this canoe. It consists of 6 packs of Nissan Leaf cells. Nissan Leaf has a huge, like 24 kilowatt or like 30 kilowatt battery pack, which is like 45 cells of these cells. I use only 6 here. Each cell is 8 volts, so 8, 16, 24, 8, 16, 24. So it's like two packs, two 24 volt packs here. The 3 in series and 2 in parallel. And this one single cell, if you think about like energy, how much energy it can hold, it holds about 500 watt hour energy, which is compared to making this whole pack is like 3 kilowatt hour. For example, a 100 amp deep cycle battery holds about 1000 watt hour energy. But the problem with lead batteries, you can only safely discharge it to 50%. So basically one pack, one lead battery from the boat, deep cycle boat, 100 amp pack, holds about 500, maybe 600 watt of usable energy. So this pack is like 3 kilowatt. To make the same capacity, you would need about like 500 amp lead batteries, which would be like a huge and heavy, right? So that's how it is.